I love throwing huge baits for one bite here, one bite there. You're not gonna get a lot of bites on this, but if you're looking for a kicker or if you're looking for a personal best, picking up an oversized crankbait is one of the best ways to do it when the water temperature is on the warmer side, 70 degrees or above. So I love spooling up that 20-pound fluorocarbon. 7'7" rod, 7'8" rod. I'm throwing a bunker buster here. It's got the power to handle that big, giant, boom, 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 moving side to side. And again, we're targeting 6-pound plus bass, 1/0 hooks, bigger than normal hooks. When a big fish eats that crankbait on some of these real obvious spots, you gotta have the power to move them and actually land those fish and put them in the boat. So if you look at my graph here, it's a bluff end point, it's a main point, it's got wind blowing on it. And because I've got the Big M 2.0 here, I'm looking for that 4 to 6 foot zone. And that happens to be right here in front of me, right on the pinnacle of this point. We've got wind coming around the corner and we've got big gizzard shad in the area. So everything is kind of lining up. It's up to me to make the correct presentation and really bang it off the rocks, bang it off those real obvious spots, just like right here in front of me. And when one bites it, I know it's gonna be a good one. So I really want to give myself the best chance at not messing up the cast, not messing up this spot or getting hung up with this crankbait. So positioning my boat almost like it's right up on the bank gives me the best chance at keeping this crankbait in the strike zone. When I say strike zone, I mean the roll of that point. I'm targeting fish in that 4 to 6 foot range. I want to grind this crankbait right off that edge and just kind of let it fall off that bluff end. The only way to do that is by putting my boat right up along the bank, but just making that real nice presentation, almost casting out towards the middle of the lake, keeping it right on that break line. So I'm throwing this oversized crankbait on a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel, simply because I want it to knock and to slam into things as much as possible. And the beauty of the Big M series is it's got kind of a roll to it. It doesn't have this real wide wobble that requires a lot of pull and has a lot of pullback. It's got more of a roll. But the beauty of it is it doesn't pull back on you, it doesn't fatigue you all day. So I'm using a 7'7" bunker buster rod. It's got plenty of power to move fish when they bite it, but with that roll, there's less resistance there. But I want you to hear this, that noise right there. It's got that beautiful, I call it the big fish knock. It's kind of like a single knocking sound, a real dull sound to it. And a lot of the big fish lures out there all have that sound. Some of the larger crankbaits out there, you know, some of the glide baits have that just real hard, dull knock. Some of the big topwaters out there have that knock. It drives big fish crazy. So whether it's a 7.5, the 4.0, or the 2.0, I think you'll find these Big M oversized crankbaits will get the job done when you're looking for a giant fish. You know, you're always looking for clues, and we're always looking for the larger than normal bite. So when you get around big bait fish like gizzard shad, like big crappie, big bluegill, white bass, larger than normal forage, don't be afraid to pick up a giant hard-hitting oversized crankbait.